Wanathan, all right? First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKadosh. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone. I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters pursuing this truth in sincerity, all right? May the blessing of election be upon your house. I'm driving down the highway, all right? Just got the audio going, but I exited just to kind of go around the bulk of it. There's this road here in Dallas where most of the trucks go through, you know, and the trucks are, you know, bringing in food, supplies to the major stores throughout the town. And it was just at a standstill. I'm like, there's no reason this should be happening. So when I go around, what I see is nobody's letting the trucks all over in the lane because there's a lane shut down. Nobody's letting the trucks over so the traffic could flow smoothly, right? And I was like, damn, the selfishness on these people, all right, is causing the traffic, which was spiritual in itself. Because even with our own people, all of the shit we went through and the predicaments that we're in as a nation are because of what? Our people were clinging onto the flesh. They were cleaving onto the world. Even when you go back to Egypt, right, in the wilderness, where our people were murmuring to the point to where they started talking shit about Moses and Aaron, that trip that was supposed to take 40 days took 40 years. And that generation had to die off. Okay? And then the following generation was able to enter into the promised land. A lot of people in their own life, their selfishness of just wanting to gratify their flesh, be right, you know, fill that hole inside with stuff. But you can't fill that hole that you fill inside with stuff. It has to be filled with spiritual things to really be fulfilled. You look at all these people that have all this money. You look at the Jake that sold out, have all these resources and things. They're still empty inside. They're on drugs. They're doing demonic. They got to do demonic. They feel empty inside. They can't fill that stuff, that hole inside with stuff. All right? But us, those who know what the Lord has promised, we're able to move in the spirit of being a part of something bigger than ourselves. The Lord promised us new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. There's nothing that you could obtain or gain here in this society that could even hold a candle to what the Lord is getting ready to give us. Okay, I want to go to Isaiah, the 65th chapter. All right? And I'm going to start at verse 17. It says, "For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth." And when you go to 2 Peter 3, I think about 11 through 13, it kind of reiterates this. "For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind." And this is also a great precept to use when you talk about being invested in this world. This is a house that's set for demolition. We always bring up this parable here. If somebody said, hey, you can stay in this house, but we're going to tear it down on the first, are you going to spend your money and your resources on renovating that house that's set for demolition? No, of course not. That would be idiotic. But that's what you see majority of people doing. Now, I'm not saying that you don't work and you gotta take care of your bills and your people and things like that. But it's not where your heart is. The fullness of your investment, all right, resides with the Lord. But there's a lot of people, even with fringes on the bottom of their t-shirt, man, and you can see it in their actions and what they put in the forefront of their ministry, is that they want to establish something here. They're invested in the house set for demolition, okay? And to really cross the finish line of salvation, which is what we all seek, you got to truly be invested in the Lord. Your eggs have to be in that righteous basket. And you don't got a plan B, okay? This is, you've put it all on the line for Yahweh Shai. He's not a fool. You can't trick the Lord. He knows if you're truly about his business or not. And that's why there's going to be a lot of people, like it talks about in the book of Matthew, that says, "Lord, did not we cast out devils in your name?" And he says, "Depart from me, I never knew you." Those are people that knew about Yahweh Shai, but they weren't really down. So all the shit that they think they did was really for nothing. You see? All right, continuing on verse 18. "But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy." And I'll rejoice in Jerusalem, the people before the place. And it's going to be literally the place too, because that's going to be the capital of the earth. There is going to be a new world order established, but it's not going to be the one this devil is trying to push. Okay? It's going to be a righteous version of it. And everything he does is what the Lord has promised anyway on the left-hand side. Everything this devil's doing, again, is a manufactured version of the blessing back in Genesis. You understand? So here, verse 19 again, it says, and I will rejoice in Jerusalem, and joy in my people. And the voice of weeping shall no more be heard in her, nor the voice of crying, because we're downtrodden in this place. We're subject to payments. We're under the curses. We're a bastard in this society, which a bastard doesn't have an inheritance. Okay? We're despised by everyone and belong nowhere. So when someone's in that situation, they're really in the way unless they can be used by somebody to make money or a profit, which is exactly the position our people are in. We're under the curses. When you go back to Deuteronomy 28, what we have to look forward to is the blessings. Okay, we talk about this all the time, but let's go read some of the blessings that the Lord is going to put upon us, as opposed to the situation or prediction. Verses 1 through 15 is the blessings, right? The Lord gave us an ultimatum. This is Deuteronomy 28:1. It says, and it shall come to pass, thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of thy God. And that's what the elect are doing right now. We're not perfect, all right, but our heart is toward the Lord. Abaratazah, we stay in that spirit all the way through. Man, that the nations of the earth. Okay, all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, blessed shalt thou be in the field. Okay, so wherever you reside at, whatever region you reside in, you're going to be blessed. You can't say that right now for our people. It doesn't work. Verse 4, Salakia. Bless out the fruit of thy body. Your children are going to be blessed. They're going to be in the right spirit. They set their hands to do what's going to flourish. And the fruit of thy ground, all right, your land. You grow your own food, culture, or particular things that the community eats. The family business revolved around. Okay, verse 4. Salakia, guys. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. All that's going to be blessed. Verse 5, blessed shall be the basket of thy store, your businesses. Every woman got a last business. And don't none of that shit really put them over the exit here? No. 61. Verse 6, blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out. Verse 7, the Lord shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way, and flee before thee 7 ways, completely demolished. All right? Nobody's going to be able to stand before us. Right now, everything our enemies set to do, man, it flourishes. You talk about the Willie Lynch letter. You talk about the whole thing with the ICE. You talk about the propaganda that they push onto us this day, the reality television, the black culture, all of that. It all works to what they wanted it to accomplish. Everything our enemies do to try to harm us, it fucking flourishes. Like, damn, they don't miss. But the Lord allowed us to be in this downtrodden, low-level, scum of the earth predicament. And that's not all of our people, but the remnant aren't necessarily in that space, but we still have to bear witness to it all. Okay, verse 8, it says, the Lord shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses, and in all that thou settest thine hand unto, and he shall bless thee in the land. All right, we're going to be taken back and put back in our land. which the Lord thy God giveth thee. And our borders are going to be expanded as well. It's not going to be that little slither that you see on the map today. That's bullshit. Okay? Verse 10 is another testament to the fact that they're not the people over there occupying the land with those little hats and eating the children. All the rituals that they're a part of. You understand? Verse 10, and all the people of the earth shall see that thou art called by thy name, by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of thee. Right now, that's not happening. We're not, people don't recognize us as the people of the Lord. They actually laugh at us when we say, oh, I'm an Israelite. You? A great reverence is going to be had upon our people. And right now, that's not the case. Now, people see that, you know, we have the brightest spirits in the earth. We're the most talented. We're the salt of the earth. All right? But at the same time, we're the downtrodden. Okay, verse 11. And the Lord shall make thee plenteous in goods. And this is what a lot of people who know the Israelites and the leaders of congregations, they're trying to manufacture blessings for themselves. That doesn't happen here. Now, the Lord will give you rest. But trying to have this great abundance and be this figure in Israel, that should not be the motivations that you have. They're not putting Yahweh shot first. All right. So this wayward spirit that's on the majority of our people, the selfishness, again, like the title says, the selfishness is causing the traffic. Because so people are occupied with gratifying their flesh, building something here in this society, and they're not about forwarding the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which is the kingdom of heaven being established upon the earth, and following his instructions to the T, it causes traffic. And that's always been the story of our people. But all that's getting ready to come to an end, man. The prophecies are rolling, they're speaking, and we're almost out of here. All right? Baba Kashah, you know, you can share this if you get the opportunity, if it was edifying unto you. I want to give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKadosh. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters pursuing this truth and sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom.